Here it comes.
If you make a huge mistake, you never hear the end of it.
Nacho.
Oh, outstanding.
Because I could talk about this all day. And, but I do.
You talk, we're going to eat.
Oh, my God. Let me turn off your mics, you. Oh, my God. This is what I deal with, folks. They put the food at the other end, and these guys well weighing into it.
Them nachos are good as hell.
I wouldn't know. Bastards.
When a pro scout comes to visit Georgia, he'll come in here like at 9 o'clock in the morning. First thing they do, they bring donuts in so they can try to make you feel good, you know. So if all of a sudden you got 5 or 6 there, you got 6 dozen donuts laying out there.
And again, until you see Swift do those little cuts, you don't realize how fast those cuts are. They look good on film, but when you see them in real life, you're like, this guy looked fantastic. And I think Swift really helped himself.
Well, good for Charlie too, because that was a kid going back to high school. I mean, look, he was up in Rabun County. This was before the Gunnar Stockton era and the Braxton Hicks, so he was kind of a pioneer up there. And you could tell he spent a lot of time in the woods. You know what I'm saying? He was. I still remember to this day, probably the most intimidating interview I've ever done was with Charlie Warner because he just stared me down the whole time, and I think he said about 8 words.
Torrey Johnson. Over there with the O-line still, looking pretty good there. I mean, he's got an opportunity there, you know, working at guard, moving around. With all these guys leaving, all of a sudden he's an athlete, highly recruited. Sees the writing on the wall, is really working hard. I don't know what's going to happen to him. Don't go out there and say, hey, Donnan. I'm just saying he's worth looking at.
Oh, who do you see stepping up at outside linebacker? I think Nolan Smith is going to continue to stay.
I mean, you have no idea how massive this guy is. I got on the elevator the other day with him. I mean, I'm glad he's my friend. Bill Norton, up to around 310 now.
Oh.
And, looking good.
Your thoughts on the Scott Cochran hire?
A lot of people think that it was just a big FU to Alabama, and Kirby doing that to spite them. I'm like, no, Kirby tried before he took the job to bring Scott Cochran with him. Please, for the love of all that's good, don't think that a guy who is a strength and conditioning coach can't know football. It just
Let me just ask you
drives me nuts.
Do you know who the running back coach is for the Los Angeles Rams now?
I do not.
Thomas Brown.
Where did he start?
He started here.
In what? Weight room.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're throwing the ball over the middle, you got to throw it at a smaller target. Don't throw it at his head. Throw it at his teeth. Because if you miss the teeth, you got a lot to hit. But if you throw it at his head and you miss it, where's it going? So aim at small targets.
That's Stone Cold Sassafrasquatch over on our YouTube page. He just called you Jim Nostradamus. So I like that. Nostradamus, I like that.
I can make a few predictions and make some bad ones too. A wise man changes and a fool never does.
There you go.